Hi everyone, today I will be reviewing the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Series Kingpin action figure. So the first thing that stands out to me is how big his card is. It stands at 14¼ inches or about 36 centimeters. And you can see that Hasbro has actually upsized the card in proportion to the size of the action figure. This is the Marvel Legends 80 years vintage Storm just for comparison. I really love this packaging because it brings back so much 90s nostalgia, and the general layout and colors used on it are so striking for mint collectors. The artwork on the card itself is awesome, with the Spider-Man logo inspired by the 90s Toy Biz action figure series, and the backdrop pulled from the Spider-Man animated series cartoon. There's a striking artwork of Kingpin on the side, and moving to the back, the same Kingpin artwork, a description of Kingpin in a couple of languages. And again, the layout of the card back is inspired by the 90s Toy Biz action figure series, with instructions on the left side to show you how you can swap his head, as well as the rest of the figures over here in the Spider-Man Retro series. So I just sliced off the tray and the bubble off the card with a knife, and the card back is indeed amazing. As I move along this review, I will be making comparisons to the original BAF. So if you have the original BAF already, you can decide if this new repaint is worth picking up. For accessories, he comes with a cane and an alternate head sculpt with a neutral expression. The cane is casted in a brown plastic with gold paint over here and a crystal attached at the top. Comparing with the cane from the previous BAF, it is now brown instead of black, and he has a deeper shade of gold. He holds the cane just fine, just like the original BAF, and he can also hold the cane just like a walking stick. The alternate head sculpt has sharply painted eyes and eyebrows, and he's got nice details like the wrinkles on his forehead as well as around his eyes. Comparing it with the original BAF head sculpt, you can see that the eyebrows are now painted black instead of grey, so he looks less old. The eyes are also painted at a different angle, so he actually looks more stern over here as compared to the BAF where he looks a little tired. The alternate head pops on just fine, and there's always the option to use the original BAF heads as well for an older look with the grey eyebrows. As far as accessories go, Hasbro should have included alternate hands for the new Kingpin, so that he could have a fist on his right hand, as well as a left gripping hand so that he can hold the cane on his left side. This new Kingpin is mostly the same sculpt, but with a new color scheme to match his classic comic book look. Taking a closer look at the figure itself, you can see that the head sculpt is exactly the same, but they've added some battle damage paint on it. They've also swapped out the shirt piece for a scarf, as well as changed the color of the pocket square from purple to red. The details on the head sculpt are also very well executed, with the vein and wrinkles down his forehead, his furrowed brows. The black eye is also very well executed, with a good shade for the bruising as well as fading, and then sharply applied paint for the eyebrows and the eyes as well as the cuts across his face. And there's also very well applied paint on his teeth and his mouth. Great work overall on his face with no paint bleeding at all. The only new part of the sculpt on this figure is the blue scarf that he comes with, and the sculpt is great to show the creases and the folds in the fabric, together with a very sharply applied hit of gold paint over here. With the scarf being the only new part of the sculpt, the rest of it is more of the same. You see nice texturing and creases on the fabric of his jacket as well as his vest, and then a couple more details like the buttons and the pockets, as well as the other buttons on his sleeve down the side, and on the back pretty plain for a white jacket. And on his left hand he comes with a ring that's sculpted and painted exactly the same as the original BAF. Coming back to the front, there's a zip detail on his pants, as well as a pleat down the front of his pants, creases at the bottom where the pants gathers on top of the shoes. The shoes are also the same with a black leather look, nice sculpting to show the seams as well as texturing to show some sort of reptile skin. And because he's the same sculpt as the BAF, you can also take him apart the same way. So here's an interesting detail. Because his torso is cast in an orange plastic, Hasbro has painted the sides of his torso a white so that it will look more consistent from the side with the white of his jacket. This also gives you an option to display him without his jacket, so he looks like he's wearing a white shirt underneath his orange vest. However, a minor detail is that he still has some black peeking out from below his sleeves, and that might throw some people off. At the same time, I'm going back to the original BAF and realize that this part is not painted black, possibly because it will look more consistent from the side with the white of his jacket. For articulation, his head is on a ball hinge so he can look up as well as look down and turn sideways. A little bit of the sideways wiggle as well. Swivel hinge at the shoulder so his arm goes all the way around as well as can go out that far. Swivel hinge at the elbow as well. An elbow bend just under 90 degrees. Swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge in and out. He's got a ball jointed torso for swivel sideways, as well as a forward bend just a little bit and a backward bend as well. And there's some sideways bend to the right as well as to the left. He's got ball jointed hips so that his legs move front and back that much, as well as sideways split that much. An upper thigh swivel. Swivel hinge on the knee so he turns in and out, as well as a knee bend just under 90 degrees. His calf swivels at the ankle so he can move in and out, as well as an ankle hinge down and up, and finally some ankle tilt in as well as out. So despite the limited articulation as compared to a regular Marvel Legends action figure, his overall articulation scheme gets him into a range of poses which is quite good for an action figure of his size. Size-wise, the Kingpin stands at 7¾ inches or just under 20 centimeters. For some size comparisons, here he is with Punisher, Spider-Man and Daredevil, Hammerhead, Tombstone and Dread Knight, Wolverine, Classic Iron Man, and Massical Stealth Iron Man. Articulated Icons Ninjas. Here's the old Toy Biz Kingpin from the Face Off 2-pack with Daredevil. Clearly, this Kingpin is the superior action figure, with the better cane as well, and some G.I. Joe Classified series just for fun. In summary, personally, I can recommend this figure. It's mostly the same sculpt as the BAF Kingpin, but there are some small added improvements. I would have liked Hasbro to have included some alternate hands. Still, I feel there are enough additions. With a well-painted battle damage head, and new color scheme and scarf that is more faithful to his classic comic book look. And besides, if you already have the BAF Kingpin like I do, you can use that with the Shadow King head swap from the Professor X box set, and then you have some spare Kingpin head swaps. Even if you don't have the Shadow King head, I think the eye-catching and nostalgic packaging would be a great display piece for your collection. Please like and share this video, let me know if you think this is worth picking up in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, take care and stay safe.